remembrance of my mother. Just want to do a tribute right now in her memory.
I wish you were here to see the things I've done. I wish you were here. You'd be so proud of your son. I wish you were here to celebrate with me. I wish you were here.
My mother, Kimberly Yvette Payne, was beautifully human, perfectly imperfect, and a courageous fighter, just to say the least. Dear Heavenly Father, your flowers grow in heaven. I humbly ask that you pick a bouquet for me, place them in my mother's arms, and tell her that they're for me, Tony. Lord, tell her that I love and miss her dearly, but I rejoice in the fact that she no longer has to worry, fear, nor suffer. And when she turns to smile, place a kiss upon her cheek and hold her just for a little while. After grieving my mother's departure for the past week, I've come to the conclusion that everyone who knew and loved Kim now has to make a difficult decision on how we choose to go forth. You can either shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will return, or you can open your eyes and see all the great things she's left behind. You can cry, close your mind, and be empty inside, or you can do what I think she wants you to do. Open your eyes, love hard, cherish each day like it's your last, and celebrate that she's now with God forevermore. You see, grief is the price we pay for love. But ultimately, we must understand that God's holy and divine will is perfect and cannot be interrupted, although it may sometimes be devastating and heartbreaking in the moment. So with that said, to my mother, my love, my confidant, my best friend, I refuse to say goodbye, Kim. But instead, I'll see you again. Until then, rest in paradise, sweetheart. I love you. We love you. Thank you.
See the things I've done. I wish you were here. You'd be so proud of your son. I wish you were here to celebrate with me. I wish you were here.
Good afternoon. I'm Kim's son-in-law, Kristin's husband. For the last 7 years, I have witnessed the most incredible acts of unconditional love and forgiveness. And we all know that Kim and Kristin's relationship had challenges early on. But the past 7 years, I watched my wife take care of her mom with the highest degree of honor, dignity, and respect, despite their strained relationship. Chris made sure Kim was given the best care possible. She kept the doctors and the nurses on their toes, making sure everybody was doing their job and held them accountable.
Yes, she did.
Even when Kim resisted or didn't want to be bothered, Chris still made sure Kim had her medicine.
Yes.
She made sure her clothes were clean, made sure she was clean,
Yes, she
made
did.
sure her hair was combed. She monitored her diet, making sure she ate the right things as well as fed her. She put perfume on her, put lotion on her, and the list goes on. She did all this for 7 years consistently. Y'all know Kim. She didn't hold her tongue. Whatever was on her mind, she was going to speak it. Chris wanted to take Kim out to eat or take her to a family function as much as possible. And when we would pick her up, the first thing that she would say when she got in the car is, "I'm hungry." So I'd be like, "Kim, we're going to go get something to eat." So 2 minutes later, we're driving. "Larry, I'm hungry." So I'm like, "We almost there." And so she turns to my 4-year-old Landon. He turns to her and be like, "Grandma Kim, you hungry?" She's like, "Yeah, tell your daddy I'm hungry." So Landon yells at me, "Daddy, Grandma Kim said we hungry." So Grandma Kim got everybody in the back hungry. Taking out the nursing home was a risk. There were accidents, but Chris didn't hesitate to take care of her mom. And I thank God for Nick and Miss Barbara, for helping Chris in those particular situations, because there's certain things I just couldn't handle. Unconditional love is love given freely, no matter what, no limitations, no expectations, no return on that investment. There were so many false alarms where the doctors would give her so much time to live, and each time we just knew it was her time to go. Kim kept fighting. She was a warrior. She wasn't ready. God wasn't ready, and the mission was not accomplished. Over time, I noticed the change between Kim and Chris. There were subtle signs of appreciation and acceptance from Kim, and not in the conventional sense. Your heart had to be open in order for you to recognize and receive what Kim was trying to convey. Kim was not a hugger, a kisser. You weren't going to get a bunch of "I love yous," but she expressed her love differently. But you can tell in her eyes, her facial expressions, and her gestures toward Chris, it was changing. And in her last days, although she could not talk because of a stroke, when the grandkids and all the little ones told her goodbye, she gave them the biggest smile. And a few days before she died, Chris was trying her best to get her to say goodbye to her. And after several failed attempts, out of frustration, a tear came down Kim's face. As Chris started walking towards the door, she turned around one last time. And Kim, with no energy in her body, had raised her arm in the air and was waving goodbye. In Kim's terms, that meant, "Thank you for everything, and I love you." You got to understand, I had both of my parents growing up. My cup was filled. I couldn't relate to this situation. So watching this display of unconditional love and forgiveness from my wife, whose cup was empty, she needed her cup filled, but still gave everything she had. And it was an incredible sight to see. This story has inspired me so much to be a better husband, father, and a better man. Kim didn't die in vain. Tony, Kelly, Chris. There's so many lessons to be learned. Kim and Kristin needed each other in order to be healed. Many people think Kim was being taught a lesson for her past, when in fact God used Kim to teach us a lesson about unconditional love. All I got to say is thank you, Kim, and we love you, and mission accomplished. Thank you.
I didn't know he was going to say all that, so I'm going to have to even say half of what I probably wrote. Just skipping on to the meat. As he said, you know, it's nice and fine when we get up here and talk about how relationships are all about loving and serving and reconciling, but it's easier said than done. And the hardcore truth is, what nobody wants to talk about is always the main thing that needs to be talked about. Like you said, it's not a secret that my grandmother raised me. It's not a secret that I didn't always understand it or even have positive eyes for the situation. But the hardcore truth is that sometimes, or even all of the time, God is in those tough relationships. And that's the truth that you don't want to face and the pain you don't want to let go of, but He's in there. He's not just in those good times. It's not just about always talking about the good stuff. He's in the pain. He's in the things that you need to forgive. And He's waiting for you to sit and see the beauty in it all instead of complaining. Perhaps even showing you that the same things that are being done to you, maybe you're just doing that to Him. Perhaps showing you just how much He is the great I am and you don't need to look to nobody else. I've learned that what I once couldn't see a reason for, what I couldn't see the meaning of, why did that have to happen to Kim? Why did I have to pull out my alabaster box? Why? It's now all so perfect. Because God makes everything perfect in time. All of it's come full circle. And you see what you see as Kim lingering in pain and suffering, I see it differently. I see it as a beautiful and unforgettable experience, and I thank God for the last 6 years that you thought we were struggling. It was a tough one, but it was absolutely worth it in hindsight. In the moment it wasn't, but the other day I saw that it was. It was a chance to get it right, a chance to be a reflection of God, and a chance for her to heal and grow on the inside without all the thoughts she had. My limited human eyes once saw weakness, but she is now to me the strongest person I've laid eyes on. I once judged her, but now she is worthy and perfect in God's sight and in mine too. Even with her brain damage, we thought she was absent in mind, but she was very present in her soul and spirit all along. She was listening, she was hearing, even when her eyes were closed, she heard it all. I saw someone who used to be shy and fearful of God come to the place where she was waving in her hands to the songs when she couldn't even talk. So get this as my tribute to Kim, to relate this to you on her behalf. Open up your eyes. You got to see that beauty in the good and the bad. You got to see the beauty in those second, third, fourth, fifth chances. Open up your ears and listen to the voice of God saying you are perfect in spite of all that stuff you think you did. Open up your mouth to say, I am, and follow it with something good, because nobody else can say, I am for you. You can be the victim, or you can say, I am something else. Open up your hearts to love, even when you want to self-protect and self-preserve and hold your rights. I thank God and Kim for the ways they helped me to open up. That was my lesson. I love my mom. I see her strength, her passion, her beauty living in me and my kids. I'll treasure her forever for being strong enough and loving enough to sacrifice herself to stay here and fight and hang around just long enough until we got it right. I thank God for letting her finish the work He started in her. Kim, I love you. My heart is connected to yours. I thank you for teaching me how to speak heart to heart this last 6 years when we couldn't talk mouth to mouth without any words. I can't wait to meet you in my dreams. And when you come, you better come with the longest ponytail, the baddest cat suit you can find, and that signature red lipstick that only you can pull off on a daily basis. See you soon. I love you.